Welcome back, detectives, to some more Agatha Christie, the ABC murders. Looks like I am back here at the headquarters, and some newspapers here. Let's look at that.
Daily Flicker, June the 22nd, 1935. Battle over control of bank system. What will the government do for money? Andover, murder of a tobacconist.
So the murder has made it to the newspaper. Interesting. Let's go check back here, see what we can find. Alright, we can look at this. Look at that sweet alligator right there. Where's that a crocodile? I don't know. Huh, so we got some books. We got an ABC guide here of all things.
Andover, Hampshire. Population 31,200 inhabitants.
Alright, interesting. And I guess I can't really look at that book for now. So we'll continue. Let me inspect our friend here.
No doubt about it. Hastings is going bored.
Oh my. Oh my. Okay.
You're not going to get the post?
Yes, of course.
Fine, I suppose I'll go get it. But let me look at the mirror first, because I remember in a couple of episodes ago, if you look at the mirror, you get ego points. Am I not going to get it? There we go. Okay. Let's get the mail.
Dear Mr. Poirot, well, what do you think? I believe that I won this round. The Andover affair went like clockwork, don't you feel? But the fun has only just started. I would like to draw your attention to Bexhill on Sea on the 25th of this month. We're having a crazy time. Best wishes, ABC.
Another murder.
The next crime will be in Bexhill. We must warn Jap to Scotland Yard.
Did the letter indicate anything that might help the police?
To be honest, I think we can already guess something about the next victim. But I need to think about it a little more.
So I think one of my new objectives is to compare the letters. So I don't know. Alright, let's cool off here and...
Ah, some cool hair.
Guess let me get my chair. Oh, I thought I could look at the letters that way, but maybe not. Alright, so it's another puzzle.
Let us examine this more closely.
Alright, so am I comparing the two to see if it's the same author or what's going on? Let's see. Well, those eyes look a bit weird. And it looks the same over there, so...
Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects.
So there we go, that eye definitely looks funky.
This eye is weird.
I guess I'll...
Right. Let us compare this with the other letter.
As Mr. Poirot said, compare it with the other one.
Yes. The eye characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects.
And I already see the next one.
I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
It looks like the A's are crooked on both of these. So let's go with that.
Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. Right, let us compare this with the other letter. That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Alright, let's take a look here. This one is not really popping out to me immediately. You're going to blah blah. I don't know. Ah, maybe it's not the same author. Look at this. We're having a crazy time, and we are going to put you to the test. So this one's not using contractions, but this one is. So let's try that.
Let us examine the characters in this word. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. The W is not printed properly.
Huh.
However, the characters in the two words do not match.
Oh, so I guess it's the W, but my contraction theory is wrong. Which is kind of silly because now it's an inconsistency, you know what I mean? It's an inconsistency. So let's take a look at a W. And yeah, it does look a little bit faded, as you can see.
Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. My theory was right. These two letters were written with the same typewriter. Both letters were written on the same typewriter and show the same characteristics.
You surprise me, Poirot. You usually ignore material proof.
But there is nothing usual about this case, Hastings. Nothing must be overlooked. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Alright, let's answer some questions here. It's my favorite part, answering the questions. What's special about the Andover murder? Let's see. Andover ABC guide. I guess that's kind of special, because he left it at the scene of the crime, and also the victim was called Asher, so it's literally an ABC murder, like the title of the game. Andover and Alice both start with an A, and what can we guess about the next victim? So it's gonna be in Bexhill, I believe. The next victim's name may start with the letter B.
So, Poirot, have you found something?
Oui, I believe so. But I am afraid it is not enough to stop the murderer. Let us go and see Chief Inspector Japp. I will explain there.
Alright, let's get out of here. I think I've looked at everything. So let's get out. And let's get in the car, I guess. Is this a taxi? Yes, it is. Look at the little horn on the side.
To Scotland Yard, please.
So I guess this is going to be Japp's place of work. Anything I can look at here? I can get back in the car. I don't really want to do that, so let's go ahead and go inside. So let's look around here. He's got some guns.
Like all hunters, Hastings has always been fascinated by weapons.
Let's look at this over here. This looks funky.
Japp has invested a great deal in his career.
Yes, he has. He has a ton of medals. He's got like a certificate. He's got trophies.
Japp is an investigator greatly respected by his peers.
I want to look at everything first before I talk to him. It's a map right here.
Alice Asher was murdered in Andover, the ABC killer's first murder. London. I really like this city. One thing is certain, you never get bored here.
Anything else? Doesn't look like it. Let me go ahead and observe him.
Japp appears to be snowed under.
Yes, he does. This phone's off the hook. Drinking some tea. He's got paperwork everywhere.
Japp appears to already be overloaded with work. My news is not going to improve matters. Bonjour, Chief Inspector. I am afraid we have some bad news. I have just received another letter signed ABC. The next crime will be on the 25th in Bexhill-on-Sea.
Are you completely sure it's from the same person?
I have compared the two letters. There is no doubt about it.
I suppose you think he's going to carry out his threats.
I fear so.
Good God, Poirot. Bexhill is very busy at this time of year, and we have no idea who the next victim will be.
So the next victim name will start with a B.
I suspect that the name of the second victim will start with B.
What on earth makes you think such a thing?
I thought about it when I saw the name Asher clearly written over the shop door of the unfortunate woman who was murdered in Andover last month. When I received a letter mentioning Bexhill, I deduced that the victim, like the town, might have been chosen by alphabetical order.
So it's an alphabet fiend. I'm going to have a list drawn up of all the people whose name starts with B. I hope there aren't too many of them.
Bien. We should leave you to work, Chief Inspector.
You have a few days to prepare yourself.
Thank you for coming, my friends.
Hopefully we can prevent a murder by relaying that info.
Poirot?
Chief Inspector Japp, your call does not bode well.
Indeed, we have just found the body of a young woman on the beach in Bexhill. An ABC was placed on the body.
We'll be there as soon as possible.
Well, it is official. We do have a serial killer on our hands now, and the game just got a lot more interesting. So it looks like it's a beach town over here.
Bexhill is a delightful town. It would be nice to come back and visit.
I do not entirely agree. Walking at the beach damages my shoes, and it hurts my knee.
So the years have not spared you, my friend. It's the same for all of us.
That is exactly what I said to myself when I saw you back from your travels.
Poirot!
Do not be offended, Hastings. I can see Japp waiting for us. And from his face, I would say that things are not looking good.
Alright, so let's see what I can examine here. Something here.
Bexhill seems to be a pleasant little town.
Yeah, it's by the sea. Right? There we go. Little huts and nice apartments.
Bexhill is a pretty little seaside resort with elegant architecture. Although, personally, I prefer more modern buildings.
I live here. It looks pretty nice. Looks pretty relaxed. Doesn't look like there's anything else I can look at, although I would suspect someone may have seen something. There's the crime scene. Maybe one of the residents saw something. Let me come down here and talk with Inspector Japp, though. Don't trip. And there is the poor victim. My God.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Chief Inspector?
I fear your admirer has struck again, Poirot. We haven't yet identified the victim, but it's a young woman, 20 to 25 years old. Death occurred last night between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, and we found an ABC guide on the body.
Was she pretty?
Come on, Poirot, that's rather out of place. It has no bearing on the murder.
Are you certain? For women, it is often the most important thing. It often decides their destiny.
The body hasn't been moved. You can see for yourself.
Has the press been informed?
Not yet, but I'm planning to. I haven't yet informed them about the presence of the ABC guide in Andover.
Nobody has reported a young woman missing?
Not for the moment.
No witnesses, I imagine.
Indeed. We've asked everybody who may have met a young woman fitting her description last night to come and see us, but I have little hope of gaining anything from it.
It's early days, Chief Inspector, and the news may not have spread around the town yet.
I hope you're right, Hastings.
Alright, so let's go ahead and examine the scene here. Unfortunately, it looks like there were no witnesses, at least as of right now. And there she is, poor young lady. It was a pretty grisly scene, so immediately I noticed the strangle marks
These marks
here.
have been left by a rope or a braided cloth.
Looks like there is a key on her hand.
This key is too small to be one for a house. Without a doubt, it is for a padlock.
Definitely the ABC guide.
The guide is open at the page for the Bexhill train times.
It's a rope here.
A braided silk belt. It may have belonged to the victim.
She's not wearing any shoes.
The young woman wasn't wearing shoes or a coat, and was not carrying a bag. That's strange. Either the murderer stole her belongings, or she put them somewhere safe. Maybe so that she could bath.
Okay.
Apart from the marks on her neck, there are no signs of the struggle. She didn't manage to hit her assailant.
And I guess her lips are really blue.
She was a great beauty. Strange that chap didn't notice it.
Well, there we go.
Let's now try and get our brain cells to work.
So let's answer some questions here. How was the victim killed? Obviously, she was strangled to death. None of her belongings. I don't know if that's gonna fit. She did not struggle. There's no marks on her hands or anything like that. So maybe by somebody that she knows. The braided silk belt might have been the murder weapon. And she has marks on her neck. So the victim was strangled by surprise with her own belt.
The poor child must have been strangled with his braided belt. Unfortunately, in view of the fabric, it is unlikely that we will find any prints. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
So there are more questions to answer here, of course. What are the common points between the Andover murder and the one in Bexhill? Well, obviously the ABC guide. So that's going to be it. And then Andover ABC guide. The two guides. The killer signs his crimes with an ABC guide. And finally, are the crimes at Andover and Bexhill the work of the same murderer? Yeah, that could work. The press does not know that the ABC guide was found in Andover. So these both could work, but I think I like this one better because it kind of rules out a copycat killer. Yeah, there we go. The two murders were premeditated and carried out by the same person. Dear
The
God.
medical officer should confirm that the victim was strangled with her own belt.
That's what I thought. She shows the usual signs of strangulation.
With a little luck, we'll find prints this time.
You are too optimistic, Hastings. Our killer is far too meticulous for that.
So, it was likely that she left her belongings somewhere, and I'm thinking one of these little bungalows. It was number 6, I think the key said. So, 9 over here. 7. That one says 9 as well, but looks like it's just a 6 turned upside down. Let's spin that around. 715. Okay. So I guess that's the combination to the lock.
A dual locking padlock. I need to find the code and then insert a key.
Alright, so 7, 1, and 5. And then we can do the key. Excellent. Guess let's move this out of the way. Looks like we have some belongings here. There are her shoes that were missing.
It definitely was here that the victim left her belongings.
And we got the
The
purse.
purse is full. Yet again, we can dismiss theft as the motive for the murder. Here is the watch she must have removed to prevent it from getting wet. A top-brand lipstick. She liked to take care of her appearance. As well as a photo of the victim with some company. It could be useful to me.
So I have a photo. Can I look at it? Alright. So who's this mysterious gentleman here? Doesn't look like there's any writing on it. Do want to look at this though.
Betty's first day at work. Mom is very proud of you. Elizabeth Barnard, 7 August 1931. So, the young lady did have a name starting with B, and she worked as a ginger cat, an establishment that must be slightly further along the beach.
Jap has gone to the police. The victim has been identified and her family had reported her disappearance. She was called?
Elizabeth Barnard, namely Betty. She worked as a ginger cat at the cafe slightly further along the beach.
But Poirot, how on earth?
Never mind. Do you have her address?
Yes, she lived with her parents on the street leading to the beach, number 22. Shall we go?
You are far too impatient, Hastings. Let the poor people take in the news first. Let us go and visit the cafe where Betty worked.
Alright, so already we know a lot. We know the victim, we know some other things about her, such as her place of employment. So let's go see if I can find any other information from the ginger cat. So further along, I guess I can't go right, so it must be left. And I guess that's where Hastings is going as well, so that must be the place. Let me look at this though.
Could it be the same buildings as on the victim's photo?
I don't remember what the photo looks like. So newspaper stand. That right there. And I guess the beach.
This
Here
is
we go.
definitely where the photo I found in the hut was taken.
Perfect. So let's keep going, and it looks like the ginger cat was over here towards the left. There's the restaurant.
Hastings appears to be ill at ease. He appeared to be relatively indifferent to Mrs. Asher's murder, but a young woman's murder seems to be troubling him greatly.
Alright, let's go inside.
I'll be with you in a minute, gentlemen.
Alright, so let me take a look at the store owner while she's doing whatever she's doing.
Something tells me that she's the owner of the ginger cat.
I don't know, she has glasses. Red hair. Ah, ginger cat, that makes sense. She's behind the register. She's dressed professionally?
This woman must be the owner of the ginger cat. It looks like something is bothering her.
How can I help you?
A hot chocolate and a tea for my friend, please.
I'll bring it straight away.
Alright, let's look behind the counter while she's kinda gone.
I need to know the time range during which Betty was working on her own.
So I guess I can look here, looks like there are some times there. There's Betty working on her own. Huh.
Where is Betty?
She's right there.
Betty worked from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Would she have been alone at any time during her service?
Looks like after 5 p.m.
Interesting. Betty was alone between 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Who did she serve?
So I guess I can look at the receipts that were on the right. Right? That makes sense? Or on the left, I mean. So between 5 and 7:30.
These are the different waiting staff's bills. Which ones were written by Betty?
Well, let me take a look
Where
at this
is
one more
Betty?
time. Yeah, so okay. Between 5 and 7:30. So let's take a look here and see what's going on. So this is 7:20, so could have been this guy.
Most probably a single man, a whiskey lover. Maybe the murderer? This bill may have been written by Betty. There is probably another one.
Alright, let's see what else between 5 and 7:30. 6:30 p.m. right here.
Most probably a family. Betty served a family and a man on his own, a whiskey drinker. Maybe the murderer. This information will help me to progress.
But, gentlemen, what are you doing?
We are
He's
searching
pissed.
for clues, mademoiselle. My name is Hercule Poirot. I am a detective, and this is Captain Hastings. Does Betty Barnard work here?
That is correct. She should have been here a while ago. Punctuality is the first rule of politeness.
I fear that Miss Barnard will not be coming today. She has just been found, dead, on the beach a few hundred meters from the cafe.
How awful. Poor young thing. What happened?
She appears to have been murdered.
This is most distressing. How this will affect my business, I shudder to think.
So this lady is very business-oriented, I guess. So let me go with this one. That makes sense.
Do not be so sure. Miss Barnard's tragic death may be a good advertisement for you.
It makes one despair of human nature. Poor young girl. She was a hard-working and pleasant young woman. I didn't know her that well. She'd only been here for 2 summers. I know that she had a young man. He used to call for her sometimes.
So let me see if it's the man in the photo, possibly?
This photo was found. Is this him?
Yes, that's him all right. But I haven't seen him for some time.
I don't know. This lady seems old school. I want to go with this.
I find young people today very hard to understand.
You needn't tell me that. A few weeks ago, they argued just outside the cafe. Imagine what my customers must have thought.
And again, I'm going to keep stroking her ego here.
I hope for you that it was an isolated incident. It must be difficult to keep a respectable establishment if your staff show themselves to be so shameless.
The young man only made a scene the once. Jealousy, no doubt. It must be said the young girl was very pretty.
Thank you for your time, Mademoiselle Marion. You have been of great help.
The customer who ordered the whiskey might provide us more information. He may have been the last one to see Betty alive.
It is an interesting idea, Hastings. Maybe he is a regular guest. What do you think, mademoiselle?
I don't think so. Our regular guests tend to order tea and cakes. At this time of the year, there are a lot of tourists about you never see again.
That's what I thought. Time to visit Betty's home.
Alright, so let's go to Betty's house, number 22 on High Street. Wait a minute, there's a mirror here. And you know what we do with mirrors. Get those ego points, man. It's all about the ego points. Nice. And it doesn't look like there's anything else I can do in here for now. So let's go over to Betty's apartment. Although I would love to take one of those little biscuits or whatever that is. Can we play the jukebox?
What a pity. I don't have any change to make it work.
Maybe I'll have to find some change at some point. But let's go to her apartment. I have a feeling we'll be coming back to the diner, possibly. And I'm just gonna follow Hastings. I don't know where the apartment is, but... Oh, there it is. 22 is what I'm looking for. Can't really see the numbers too well. But I guess it's the one that Hastings is walking towards. Yeah, 22. But my friends, we are going to leave that for the next episode. So I hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, be sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.